Good morning, everyone. I, Yashasvika Yadav, welcome you all to Valedictory Function of Intense course on Media Literacy for Students. It gives me immense pleasure to announce that students enrolled in the course have completed 18 hours of media literacy training over 12 sessions spanning 3 weeks. The objective of the course was to ensure that students critically analyze media messages and become responsible citizens. The course culminated with the evaluation of their learnings. The Intense Media Literacy course was organized by Delhi Metropolitan Education Noida, which is an A-grade premier educational institute affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University. The institute offers BBA, BA LLB, BBA LLB with BCI approval, and BA JMC programs. It believes in imparting world-class education to its students while training them to develop and enhance their skills. The event was jointly helmed by DME and Adamas University, Kolkata. Adamas University is the best private university in the Eastern India and was established with the intention to provide a solution to all educational needs under one roof. It aims to facilitate an environment for students that will not just arm them with the right kind of knowledge, but also develop them as well-rounded members of society. The Intense Media Literacy course was designed under the able leadership of Professor Ujjwal K. Chaudhary, Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean, School of Media, Communication and Fashion, Adamas University, and Dr. Amrish Saxena, Dean DME Media School. The course witnessed participation from Adamas University, Kolkata, Delhi Metropolitan Education, Noida, Mayur School, Noida, Delhi, and Delhi World Public School, Noida. I would now request Dr. Amrish Saxena, convener, to please share highlights of media literacy course.
Good morning, everybody. So those who have been part of this course for the last 21 days know how we have been trying to conduct it. This was a very small idea which culminated, in fact, when we organized the world's first 10-day digital live conference in June. So at the end of that, on 30th of June in the valedictory function, Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary came out with this idea that we are involved in such an intense discourse, but then it should reach somewhere. And why not to start media literacy course at two levels? One was that we start this course for the school students, and then one very professionally designed course should be launched for anybody who wants to enhance his or her knowledge with regard to media literacy and the related areas. So from there it started. Then we had a meeting of the faculty member of both the institutions, Delhi Metropolitan Education, this DME Media School, and then the School of Media, Communication and Fashion in Adamas University. So this was again the first of its kind, wherein all our teachers and their teachers, approximately 35-40 faculty members met in a meeting, deliberated and discussed as to how this course can be mooted. And thereafter, we involved more faculty members. We assigned this job to faculty members in both the institutions who could take the thing forwards. So besides I and Professor Chaudhary, the other two teachers who got involved into this, Ms. Yashasvika Yadav, who is from DME Media School, and Dr. Asha Singh, who is Associate Professor in the School of Media, Communication and Fashion in Adamas University. So we sat together and we developed the course firstly for this course which we launched for the school students. Another course we are still working on, and we will be launching that soon. But for us it was like a pilot project, because we were trying to test as to what extent we will be able to successfully launch it, successfully run it, uh, because though it's a small thing that we plan, but then when it comes out to be actual happening, then we found that it is really a taxing thing. It's a loaded thing because we started on 12th of October, and for 12 days. So the weekends and all we skipped, but then we had to finish it within the minimum possible time, because we at DME also had a lot of engagements, and due to the impact of coronavirus, everything is happening simultaneously. The classes are happening, admissions are happening, so many things. So obviously to handle this thing along with other engagements was not an easy thing. Same was with Adamas University, but then we thought that the most ideal time, most suitable time will never come. So let us start with, but then we needed the cooperation of some schools who could join hands with us to make this happen. So we are really obliged to the both the schools, the Mayur School and Delhi World Public School, and their principals, the principal of Mayur School, Mrs. Alka Pathak, and the vice principal, Sunita Dayaji, and then also the principal of Delhi World Public School, Miss Jyoti Arora. So everybody helped, and I mean during the course of the this whole course, obviously I needed their help to make sure that the presence is maintained, because this was again a challenge. We were going to the students with some such thing which earlier they would not have been familiar with. So, and this was also a challenge to generate interest among them in the initial classes so that they themselves feel like attending the sessions. So, somehow that happened with ups and downs. And we also learned, we also realized what were the pitfalls which we needed to address in future whenever we are again repeating this kind of course with more number of school students in Mayur School and DWPS, and then other schools also we would like to incorporate so that we actually, but this whole thing turns into a movement because it's practically a CSR activity. We are not doing anything, though we all, I mean, this DME and Adamas University are in the private setup, but we are not doing it for any profit making and all. It's completely because we owe as educational institution that we have something to be given to the society. So that realization has led us to do this, and particularly the kind of time that we are passing through this COVID phase and this whole misinformation, disinformation thing has actually taken a serious turn. It was already a problem, but during this time, this problem has increased manifold. So it becomes each one of us responsibility to make sure that whatever information dissemination we can do among the youngsters as far as media literacy is concerned, so that they understand how to make use of the media, not to harm the society, but ultimately for the benefit of the society. So I thank all those who have helped us in making this happen. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts on the completion of media literacy course. The purpose of the course was to make students media smart and also a responsible global citizen. Let's have a glimpse of the intense media literacy course workshop.
You don't have the guts to answer a specific question, which is why you're running away from it.
Program. How dare you say that we have an agenda? You're saying that we have an agenda.
For the first time in the country, that two institutions have joined hands to launch this kind of program.
DME College, which is affiliated to Indraprasth University, Delhi, and Adamas University, Kolkata, two distinguished higher education institutes of two different parts of India, particularly East and North, have come together to address youngsters on this issue of media literacy.
One of the primary objective of the course, apart from making students media smart, is to make them a responsible citizen who can objectively make a decision in the electoral process.
This whole course has been designed with this purpose, wherein the students can understand the meaning of media literacy. They can understand what all they need to learn while they are using the media, whichever platform they are using.
Us to actually go through this patiently, not just as lectures, but because they have to be brought into their life. These have to be brought into their life of how to combat, how to bust false video, how to bust false news, how to look at a picture and critically examine whether the picture is right or wrong.
With
No. You will analyze it. You will look at other sources. You will Google it. You will look for news websites, whether this information is given on other news websites also.
Well, what is media? Like from the moment you get up in the morning until the point you sleep, you are exposed to a lot of mediums of communication.
We must understand the ownership pattern has got a lot of things to do with the freedom of expression, with what exactly the media says to you, tells to you. You all know media creates the opinion, media creates the perception.
Media representations are the way in which the media portrays particular groups, communities, experiences, ideas, or topics from a particular ideological or value perspective.
The most important part of critical thinking is to question. So you have to question everything. The first lesson that you should learn for critical thinking is that you should not forward messages and all the messages that you get on media without fact checking, without verification, without source verification.
There's a concept called confirmation bias. In other words, we tend to believe things, we tend to accept things that we have already an inclination for.
तरीके से अपनी बात को कहने का एक तरीका होता है जिसमें आप कहते कुछ हैं, उसका मतलब कुछ और होता है और आप एक्चुअली या तो किसी कॉज को आगे ले जा रहे होते हैं या किसी कॉज को जिसको आप मानते हैं कि ये सही नहीं है, आप उसको डिनाउंस कर रहे होते हैं।
जो र्यूमर है वो कैसे फैलता है? Appeared online, panic, anxiety, misleading information, people's reaction to misleading information, damage to society. अब ये information misinformation हो सकती है या disinformation हो सकती है, तो ये कैसे होती है, क्या होती है, कब होती है, क्यों होती है और कहाँ होती है, वो हम जानेंगे.
The replies that you give, feedback, entire thing. Okay, so all this is going to create a reputation for yourself and then add value. So your posts, or maybe what you're thinking of, it's going to add positive value.
Two types of defamation. One is a civil, another is criminal. But interestingly, there is no civil law for defamation in our country. If we look into as to what amounts to defamation, we had to refer to its definition, and this definition has been given under section 499 of Indian Penal Code. That's the criminal law. So definition is under the criminal law, and the same definition applies to the criminal offense and as well as the civil offense.
Credible information, credibility, as rightly said by Dr. Saxena, that we have filters for other medias, we have filters for television, we have filters for newspapers, we have filters for structured media, but we do not have such filters for online media.
Right to privacy was made a fundamental right and was included under Article 21. Right to privacy has been included in the Article 21 under the right to life and personal liberty that entitles a citizen to be left alone without any unwarranted interference.
Now, I would request Dr. Asha Singh, Associate Professor, Adamas University, Kolkata, and Course Coordinator, to please share her report on intense course media literacy.
Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all, and I'm really thankful towards Professor Ujjwal Kumar Chaudhary, Vice Chancellor of Adamas University, and Professor Amrish Saxena, Dean, DME Media School, to provide me this opportunity, which has actually made me a participant in something which is very important and relevant in our present times. We are participating in a media literacy project, which is a global, which has a global appeal, and it will resonate with everyone across the world, because all of us are surrounded by information, we are surrounded by media, and we need to learn how to navigate this world. And it is not just relevant for adult people, but younger students or people of every age, because information technology and media world is a fast changing world, and to catch up and to navigate safely, smartly, and in a meaningful way, we require media literacy skills. So I think we have started a movement which will take us along with future citizens and current citizens a long way, and it will empower us to navigate this media world in much better way. In our 12-session course, we learned about many things. The list is illustrative, not exhaustive. Importance of media literacy, types of media and challenges, because we are encountering different kind of mediums on a daily basis. So we are actually discovering on a daily basis that, okay, there are more platforms we need to know about, we need to navigate in. Then we learned about representation in media with respect to race, ethnicity, ideas, issues, and concerns, what gets represented, what is not represented. And it is actually very important to know what kind of concerns are represented in media and what kind of issues and concerns and ethnicities are not represented in media to become important, empowered people and citizens. It imparted critical thinking skills. Critical thinking is a very important skill, and it requires regular engagement. It will not be covered by just one course. We would require ourselves to provide us knowledge and skills on a daily basis. It educated us about laws and regulations related to media, and also related to other kind of information technology platforms. It made us aware about social media etiquettes, because etiquettes are not just part of our physical social world, but it is also part of the social media world, because we have more presence in social media nowadays in this pandemic situation than we have in the real physical world. We learned about fact checking, source verification. We were educated about our rights as well as our duties with respect to media. We had 181 registrations for this course across institutions, and some of the important institutions which participated in huge numbers are Mayur School, Noida, Delhi World Public School, Adamas University, and Delhi Metropolitan Education, and there are many others. And I think the most important takeaway, which I believe is scientific temper, which is embedded in our constitution, because media literacy course is not just empowering us to navigate information and media world, it is also telling us about our duty, which is embedded in our constitution, Article 51A, which says that every citizen of this country should participate in building scientific knowledge and scientific temper. So it is our constitutional duty which we are participating in. And also it is inculcating research aptitude in our students, because all these methods like source verification, fact checking, they are useful methods across social sciences and sciences, because these methods help us develop research skills. So I think it is a very important movement, and we should continuously participate in it. We will have more sessions, and I thank everyone, all the school principals, all the school students and college students who participated and contributed through their questions, queries and concerns. It benefited all of us, not just instructors, but also participants. All of us were benefited from this exercise. So I thank everyone. Over to Yashashrita.
Thank you, ma'am. The association between Adamas University and Delhi Metropolitan Education has been fruitful. And apart from organizing media literacy course, we have been associated with Adamas University, Kolkata for DME Media School's flagship event, ICANN 3 Issues of Community, Agenda and News. And we'll also be associating for the upcoming film festival, SIFI 2020. We have amongst us Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary, Pro Vice Chancellor, Dean School of Media, Communication and Fashion, Adamas University, Kolkata. I would request him to please address the gathering on the valedictory function of intense course on media literacy.
Sorry, I am on the way. I am on the way going to a rural part of Bengal with my mother and my pilot. So I'm talking from the way that connectivity is very poor. I'm sorry for that. First of all, it was a fabulous, fabulous experience. And thanks to the leadership of Dr. Ambarish Saxena. I couldn't give much time, but my colleagues were there. But Dr. Ambrish Saxena, Yashasvika ji, and Asha ji together have actually pulled it through a fabulous experience. People say that academic seminars and conferences are more for just talking. It's a talking shop. This example, this evidence, this program proves it wrong. This was an idea which was mooted, as has been already noted by Dr. Saxena, in the valedictory session of a 10 days long ICANN 3 international conference on media related issues, which was organized by DME recently. It was mooted in the valedictory session taken up by Dr. Saxena and the team and our team, and we had further meetings, and this is how the first pilot session has come up. And now this was offered to the two schools of NCR, Delhi NCR region, and we shall be doing the next one with several schools of Calcutta, Bengal, Greater Calcutta, this area. Then again, we'll do another for hopefully for the Delhi NCR region. And this way, we'd like to do a few sessions by which good number of schools are covered. And it has been made free consciously, as has been told by Dr. Saxena. Over the last 2 weeks, my colleagues, our colleagues of both the institutes together have given their Saturday, Sunday as well to organize this program. I would like to note here, I was listening to the principal of Mayur Vihar earlier speaking that one of our students has got in Whistling Woods. Great, I congratulate. I have been the former dean of Whistling Woods, the first dean of the School of Communication, not the filmmaking school, but the School of Communication, and it's a great place. I appreciate. But this particular course is not intended only for media students. It's intended for anyone going to any specialization, any career in life, because false content is no more any prerogative of any single community, class, profession, or career. False content, I refuse to call it fake news, because if it is news, it is not fake. If it is fake, it is not news. False content has become, unfortunately, an integral part of our lives, whether we love it or hate it. And some of us unconsciously, including me, have forwarded sometimes a few false content. They may not have been harmful, but they were wrong. And without cross-checking, I also did it, for which I apologize to the friends to whom I did it. So it's true that many of us, almost everyone, including from the top executive of the country, without naming names, to the person next door, everyone has forwarded sometime or the other false content over WhatsApp or over Twitter or any other form. Every channel in the country has fallen victim to false content. It's important that an army of educated and knowledgeable persons are created in the country from among the youngsters who can understand, look at a news piece and understand if it is false or good. Same thing for good cinema. We have forgotten what is good cinema. We just want to escape our life through a cinema. So it's important to understand the difference between good and bad cinema. It's important to understand the basic laws connected to WhatsApp, social media, and other things, because unconsciously many would fall victim to such a news or such an item by which one unconsciously would be violating a law of the land. So it's important that media literacy that covers good and bad cinema, understanding of that, basic laws of media, basic norms, ethics of media, and also understand what is false content and how to bust it. Such things are necessary as an integral part of learning of every youngster, whether the youngster is going for engineering, medical science, social sciences, general sciences, law, media, or management. Subject is not the important part. This has become an integral part of the country. And since there is a revolution of 3G, 4G connection going on across the country, since there is a smartphone revolution at this point going on across the country, 92 crores of smartphones are in use. Some of them, maybe even some persons may have 2 or 3 smartphones. So 92 crores may not be the people, but 92 crores of number of connections have been given so far across the country. And this has become further accentuated because of the cheap connectivity initially given by Geo Telecom, which is now increasing the prices as well. They got us addicted to it, now they're increasing the prices. So this has become a national menace, the problem of false content. Must every educator
from even a secondary school principal onward. Every educator has to be conscious about their children to be protected from this. I would expect, if this experience of the youngsters in this round has been good, I would expect them to uh, you know uh, encourage their friends, their peers to do the next course whenever it's brought in. Please understand, it takes a lot of courage, time, energy for two private institutions like DME and Adamas University to come for something which is purely sort of CSR, which is purely sort of reaching out to the youngsters for their benefit. And this has been clearly the message here, that we would like to arm the young people with knowledge, that they can identify, even without applying any technology, identify in simple manners what is false content and bust it. They can write, they can watch and write about good cinema. They can understand what is the law against any sort of false content or any sort of wrong messages, what sort of laws are there in the country. This has been the aim. I hope to an extent we have achieved the aim. Always, life is always work in progress. So this was one work in progress under the able leadership of Dr. Amrish Saxena and the teams of both the universities. We will once again do the next workshop in the month of November, whenever the dates are yet to be finalized. And we'll continue with this for some time ahead. I also welcome Dr. Amrish Saxena and his team organizing the film festival within a month from now, a great initiative as well. To my teacher, who is no more alive today, my school teacher of social science, had taught me, turn your disadvantage into an advantage. There is always a way to do that. One has to have the insight to get to that way. Dr. Saxena and team has shown how to turn the disadvantage of lockdown period, disadvantage of pandemic period, disadvantage of only digital learning into an advantage by organizing 10 days international academic conference, now organizing together with us this particular media literacy conference and workshop, and then organizing a film festival online. Mind you, film festival online. I am also happy that our university has also done Media Next, a 10 days media professionals conference online, in which Dr. Saxena also actively participated and moderated several days. And we are looking forward to many such activities together. This is another example of collaborative work among institutions. This must be the mission. Our attention is the youth of the nation, and therefore there is no competition required. It's an era of collaboration. Competition is a 20th century phenomenon. Collaboration is a 21st century phenomenon, particularly in the post-pandemic world. Not just passion, but compassion. But compassion is the way forward. With these few words, I would like to take your break. I am in a low connectivity zone. Just stop the car for talking to you. It was great. I would look forward to meeting you face to face. Some of the faculty members of DMA have met, but I would look forward to meeting principals and all. Maybe after a few months and several schools covered, both in Bengal and in Delhi NCR. In both the campuses, we can do a get together of the leadership of the various institutions over a cup of tea or maybe a lunch. I'm sure Amber sir won't mind sponsoring a lunch for the top principals of that area and us together sometime in future. So shall we on our campus. Thank you. Bye bye. Great meeting you all.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to call upon Avnish Chabra from Mayur School to share his experience of the course. I would like to mention that Avnish has asked pertinent questions throughout the session, which has enriched the deliberations. Over to you, Avnish.
Thank you. Good morning to everyone. I feel really privileged to be a part of this media literacy course and share my experience with you all. I would like to begin by saying that media industry is a really big industry now. Everyone in the world depends on it. So it is important for us to see if the information that is being imparted to us is true or only a way to gain more attention. Social media is also a really important aspect of our life. Everyone uses it on a daily basis, but it is very few people who know how to follow the etiquettes. So it is important to know those etiquettes too. I really appreciate DME and Adamas University for this collaborative initiative to impart such wisdom to all of us. These 12 sessions have been really enriching for me. I've got to learn so much about media etiquettes, how to protect yourself from fake news, how to safeguard your privacy, and so much more. I would also like to take a moment to thank all the teachers for their constant efforts to impart such important things to us. And in conclusion, I can only say that be a critical thinker, try to analyze everything, don't believe everything you see and hear, and then only you can grow and learn. Thank you.
Thank you, Avnish, for sharing your thoughts. The student participation from Mayur School has been phenomenal. And I would like to thank Ms. Alka Avasti, Principal, Mayur School, Noida, for her support, requesting her to please share her thoughts. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning to each one who's present here. Good morning, Aman sir. Good morning, Dr. Saxena. And of course, Mr. Ujjwal Chaudhary, I mean it, and the entire faculty of DME and Adamas University. Indeed, when Dr. Saxena, you spoke to me about this event that you decided, to come up with, of course, along with the Adamas University, and you told us the aspects that it's going to cover and how our children are going to be benefited. And when I saw the entire schedule, I really was highly impressed. And I and my vice principal, we decided that we have to ensure that maximum of our students, they get benefited. Since it was related to a real pertinent situation that we all are witnessing at the moment. Everything is happening online, virtually. So media is very close to my heart, because even I did, after my master's in English literature, I also did journalism and mass comm. I did a degree again in journalism and mass comm, and I worked with Times of India for some time. So see, I realize how important it is for us to realize that what is fake and what is the real news. And my children, and I look forward to whatever new and whatever we can, ensure that our children gets exposed to. And I was very happy when I came to know that you are taking up this. So I wanted maximum of my students to be able to be part of this venture of yours. And whatever feedback that I've got from them, I'm so happy. And when I saw Avnish Chabra speaking so confidently, and of course, presenting his ideas, and you also told us that how candid he was and how he had been asking, questions during all the sessions. Now it really puts my faith in our system here at Mayur, that our children are definitely being, directed in the right direction, and they are turning out to be well-groomed and wonderful orators who can express their ideas well. And such kind of courses that you offer and you made us, we were privileged to be part of, will certainly add to their understanding and knowledge, and will help them definitely in future to charter a line, a course for themselves. And I'm sure seeing their passion and their response, I am really satisfied and happy. And thank you once again, Aman sir, and Dr. Amrish. We look forward to many more. Now that you've given us one, so we are expecting, now more in different fields. So we look forward to that. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now request Ms. Sunita Dhaya, Vice Principal, Mayur School, who helped us coordinate with student participation, to share her words of wisdom.
Good morning, everyone. It was wonderful experience, with the students having an exposure to this media literacy program. organized by DME and Adamas University. And like Avnish spoke and he shared his experience, we were really, overwhelmed hearing this, and many more other students have really gained an insight about this program. And this is definitely going to help our students charter their future, the career that they wish to in this media literacy program. Like ma'am also said that this was a first experience, and we wish to have many more such programs by your university for our students, so that they also get an exposure as to what is this media literacy about. Thank you all so much for organizing this wonderful program for our school students.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to call upon our students from Delhi World Public School, Noida, who have participated very enthusiastically for the course and enriched the discussion with their questions. I would first like Sunena Mondal to please share her thoughts.
Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. A very good morning to our excellent and learned mentors, the team of Delhi Metropolitan Education Noida, Adamas University Kolkata, and one and all present here. I feel privileged for having been given an opportunity to express my words of gratitude on the completion of the course on media literacy. On behalf of the students of Delhi World Public School Noida Extension, I, Sunana Mandal, extend my heartfelt gratitude to all our knowledgeable resource persons for these excellent sessions that guided us to become more vigilant and thus contribute towards creating a better society. I also thank our mentors for their constant suggestions and guidance and the doubt clearance sessions. I wish to extend our obligation and gratefulness to Dr. Ambrish Saxena, Professor and Dean of DME Media School and Director DME Studios and Production for awarding us an opportunity to attend the intense course on media literacy, the first of its kind initiative in the country for creating a vigilant and aware society. Our heartfelt thanks out to Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary, Pro Vice Chancellor, Dean of the School of Media, Communication and Fashion, Adamas University, Kolkata, for designing the event to suit contemporary consciousness. It is truly said that an investment in knowledge always pays the best interest, and our investment of time in this course has been one of the most fruitful experiences in our lives, as we have not only gained knowledge but also polished our critical thinking skills. I would also like to thank our respected ma'am Principal Jyoti Arora for being a strong pillar of support for all of us and giving us the opportunity to be a part of such an informative and enriching course. We sincerely look forward to more such effective and thought-provoking sessions in future. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunena. Now, I would request Lavanya Jha to please say a few words.
A very good morning to one and all present here. I, Lavanya Jha, student of class 11th from Delhi World Public School, Noida Extension, take this opportunity to thank Delhi Metropolitan Education, Noida, Sir Dr. Ambrish Saxena, the members of Adamas University, Kolkata, for the initiative to organize an intense course on media literacy for school students. The benefits of media literacy for students are multiple. First and foremost, media literacy helps students to become wiser consumers of media, as well as responsible producers of their own media. Along those same lines, teaching media literacy helps to foster critical thinking skills in students. This type of thinking can eventually become second nature, which will help them in many areas as they grow older. Media literacy will continue to play a key role in creating a new generation that can retain critical thinking skills in the midst of a media blizzard. This entire media literacy course has helped us understand a lot of new concepts, the do's and don'ts on social media, the media policies, sharpening our critical thinking skills, the diversity in viewpoints of different people, social media etiquette, smart and safe use of technology, etc. Every single thing during the entire course had been very well explained to us, which all the more helped us to get a better understanding of the deep concepts. And personally, I believe in the saying that the youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow. Such initiatives and courses add on to the personality development of a student. Participating in the same brings us knowledge and enhances our skills on the given topic. It helps us to understand about the benefits and harm of a particular subject. and moreover makes us responsible citizens. Well, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and a bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated people who know their work so well and are result oriented. I also like to thank my school, DWPS, for giving us the opportunity to participate in such a huge platform. And I'm truly grateful to everyone who organized this event because the media literacy was not just a course for me, but an experience worth remembering and lasting lifelong. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lavanya. Now I would request Nishita to please share her thoughts.
Social media is not media. It is the key to listen, engage, and build relationships. Good morning, one and all present here. I am Nishtha Rai, the head girl of Delhi World Public School, Noida Extension. We, the students, are feeling highly privileged for being provided an opportunity to attend such enlightening sessions. And moreover, it is gratifying to express our heartfelt thanks to Delhi Metropolitan Education for their ever encouraging support. Media is a huge part of everyone's life. It is used in everything and it's everywhere. The world's population is 7.3 billion and the internet has 3.17 billion users. With these kind of numbers, all types of users will undoubtedly be subjected to some form of social media trolling their usage. Trolls who create conflict on social media sites by making controversial statements to cause a buck can be found in almost every corner of the web. They can create problems for people, businesses, and the general well being of some aspects of social media. Not just problems, but they can destroy a person's life. They can make these 3.17 billion users believe in something which is not even the truth. No doubt that social media supports a global ecosystem of social interaction. Modern life revolves around the network with its status updates, news feeds, comment chains, political advocacy, omnipresent reviews, ranking, and ratings. For its first few decades, this connected world was idealized as a civic forum, but it is now threatened with fragmentation. People feel free to make unsupported claims, assertions, and accusations in online media. As things now stand, people are attracted to forums that align their thinking, leading to an echo effect. It is hard to see where this phenomenon may be heading. Social media brings very bad event to our attention, making us feel as if it all happened in our backyards, leading to an overall sense of unease. Online, we express hate and disgust we would never express offline, face to face. It seems that social media is lacking online. We do not confront our neighbors, children, friends with antisocial behavior. The problem is not only anonymous trolling. Many trollers have faces and are shameless. And they have communities that encourage trolling. But more than that, we need to go back to teaching and experiencing morals in business and media. Media is like a coin having two sides, positive and negative. We all know that we can count the positive sides, but the number of losses because of the negative sides of the media is uncountable. And for this, I would especially thank the entire team of Delhi Metropolitan Education for making us learn everything about media, including what is media, what is literacy, who owns the media, different aspects of media, social media etiquettes, media literacy, different types of media contents and contexts, representation in media, media bias, and sharpening critical thinking. I conclude by saying that when the youth of the present day are made aware and cautious, there can never be any chance of media affecting a person's life adversely. Thank you.
Thank you, Nishita. Now I would request Kartikeya to please share his experience.
A very pleasant morning. I hope I am audible to everyone. Right. I am Kartikeya Srivastava of class 11th B, a student of Delhi World Public School, Noida Extension. I personally would like to thank the Dean, Dr. Amrit Saxena, Professor Ujjwal K. Chaudhary, the members of Delhi Metropolitan Education Institution, and the Adamas University, Kolkata, for providing such an exposure and a kind of consciousness which was sure needed, especially during a time like this. And my utmost reverence to our school, Delhi World Public School, Noida Extension, for its constant support in providing us with global exposure and in its persistent and ceaseless guidance for us to the right path to the inevitable success. This intense course on media literacy, keeping in mind the 3 weeks, 12 sessions, and 18 hours, sure was intense. It allowed me to learn new things and some certain crucials to which I wasn't aware prior to this course, such as social media etiquette, hoaxes, emoticons, fake news, disinformation, misinformation, and much more. It's important for us to retain this knowledge in our lives as they play a very vital role in the soon to come era. I love to say more things, but due to the time constraint, I won't be able to. So I'll end here saying that these are the types of work which are remembered. These are the types of work by remarkable institutions which are remembered. This to me is a pertinent, germane, and admirable involvement and contribution by all the people involved in this course in the development of the rising stars of our nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The words of appreciation from students means the most. They are the ultimate benefactor of this course and their appreciation means a lot to us. Moving on, I would like to call upon Ms. Jyoti Arora, Principal, Delhi World Public School, Noida. She has been very supportive of the endeavor and encouraged students to participate. I would request her to please share a few words.
A very good morning to each of one of you. I think it is always a pleasure to listen to the children. And when Dr. Amrish Saxena, he had apprised us, as my colleague Alka ma'am also pointed out, that actually the schedule was so well planned. And before the commencement of the program, we never thought what media literacy is going to bring in. And when we took a feedback from our students about the course, and as Professor Ujjwal K. Chaudhary rightly pointed out, that 90 crore connections, they have been given as of now, which could be a national menace. And I feel these kind of courses, they can really train our children very well. And of course, I was looking at the evaluation form yesterday, which was shared with the children, and which had a beautiful PPT on critical thinking skills, which are rightly the 21st century skills. And I was actually, when I looked at the evaluation form, I could actually gauge that how well planned the entire session has been, and it was a gist of the entire 18 hours session. The children have answered also those questions very well. Thank you, each one of you. And when we started, Dr. Amrish Saxena, we were in close contact with each other, and the kind of support that we got from him, the children they were a little apprehensive when they started with the course content. But eventually, I was talking to Nishtha 2 days back, and she apprised that she would definitely love to be a part of such events, a head girl, and also she would like to, opt for such courses after class 12th also. So talking about the media etiquettes, which has come out during the entire course sessions. So I think a big thank you to DME. Good morning, Aman sir. I just saw Aman sir also on the screen. Good morning, Aman sir. Thank you, Dr. Amrish Saxena and Professor Ujjwal K. Chaudhary. I would also like to thank Yashasvika for coordinating with us so well. And of course, my vice principal, ma'am, because we have another career counseling session going on. And also Preeti Batra, ma'am, she's here. She's a very senior commerce faculty with us. She's also been coordinating with Yashasvika. So I think it was a wonderful session. And Dr. Amrish Saxena, we look forward to such sessions more, because it has been a learning session for all the children, and with the children, we have also been learning. In fact, what we have thought that after maybe on a Monday in a special assembly, the children, whatever they spoke here, they could apprise the other students about it. And also so that for the next time, we have other children also being a part of this wonderful course. So a big thank you to each one of you. God bless and take care.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Ujjwal sir would like to add something. Ujjwal sir, over to you.
Yeah, I just heard the students one after another, and from I think Avnish onwards till the last guy Kartikeya, and those ladies also in between. And I also heard the principals. I was so touched with the students' feedback. And the type of English they were speaking, I don't think many at their age I couldn't speak that for sure. And even now I would like to note that I fumble a lot. The guys were so smart. The guys were so smart, and I'm not telling it just to make you happy, those who are listening to me. I truly mean that you spoke great. You had your ideas were concrete. Your feedback was pointed. You even summarized the whole syllabus. One of these girls, I think, I forgot her name, second last speaker, actually summarized the entire syllabus in just two, 3 sentences. Fabulous, guys, fabulous. This course is also expected, now we'll evolve it further. This course is also expected to cover basics of, how to handle trolling, as this lady was speaking, one of the students was speaking, how to handle trolling. And I think Nisha or Nishta, right, Nishta, how to handle trolling. And for example, a basics on cyberbullying. What are the laws of cyberbullying? Maybe we'll add more content next time. But it's important that such things are learned by every youngster, boy or girl, now at 17, 18 years of age, so that they can really make it, first of all, they can carry it forward to others, and then they can get it applied in their own lives. So it's significant. I would reiterate to say, it's not about students wanting to do media education in future. Yes, you are very much welcome. Both our institutes are in media education and setting new standards in that. But students who are going for engineering, for medical, for law, particularly law students, for very much social sciences, any subject, they should management, they should really understand fundamentals of communication media today, how to handle fake news, what's good and bad cinema, what's good and bad communication, what is false advertising and healthy advertising and unhealthy advertising, ethics of communication. These are things they should really know. I salute the principals for what they've observed. Yes, it is always like that. We begin with a little confusion or ambiguity about a thing, and when the experience, so the food is in its eating, the taste of the proof of the pudding is in its eating, as they say. So now one section of the students have eaten it, in the sense tested it, in the sense gone through it. So it should be carried forward to more and more students and more schools as well. Thank you for the support that you have given to the program. I'm really touched with the students' feedback. I was not supposed to speak second time, but I requested Shashika ji and Amrish ji that I'd like to speak for 3 more minutes, because it was a fabulous. Why do we do these things? This is for the youngsters. When they speak out this way, it's really very touching. I really appreciate the students.
Thank you, sir. So, owing to the disruption caused by COVID-19, DME Media School adapted to the change and leveraged technology to impart education to students. Video lectures and in-depth notes were shared with the students. For the ongoing session, we have adopted a pedagogy which is more in tune with the contemporary times. Keeping in mind the safety of the students, we uploaded video lectures on Kolpol, a digital learning platform, followed by subject-specific tutorials. Apart from curricular activities, we also organized various webinar series which discussed about the impact of COVID-19 on diverse industry. We have an ongoing Media Master series where we familiarized media aspirants with different fields of mass communication. DME Media Schools excels in organizing events both online and offline. We have in the past few months organized various events such as Teachers' Day, Gandhi and Shastri Jayanti, Hindi Divas, Impeccable Bond, Farewell to the Outgoing Batch of 2017-20, and face-to-face chat show with the Dean, which was a month-long webinar series. Let's have a glimpse of our digital campus.
DME has embraced digital paradigm shift by adopting technology-based learning.
Unlike other colleges, we adopted a 2-step strategy. In step 1, teachers would be preparing the videos, students would be watching them. In step 2, the student would be coming to the tutorial, clarifying the doubts, making the presentations, and discuss with the teacher.
At DME, we have invested in the best in the class academic ERP, which allows us to have a 360-degree robust communication amongst all the stakeholders, students and faculty members.
DME's virtual learning mechanism is no less than real-time classroom teaching,
wherein the students are provided the pool of e-learning resources in the form of PPTs, video lectures, and online classes in a very student-friendly environment.
There is no need of mental blocks. Online teaching is as effective and interesting as offline teaching. Let the students enjoy this new mode of education.
In DME, we believe in quality education. We take care of our students. We want to see them happy.
Mental and emotional health are one of the most challenging issues of present times. DME Mentoring Cell takes care of that. Not just this, we go beyond academic curriculum to instill the most important employability skills in our students.
Now, I would request Dr. Susmita Bala, Head DMA Media School, to please share a few words.
Thanks, Yashasvika. Good morning, everyone present here. Media literacy is the need of our in today's age. Everybody is a content creator. Everybody is a content disseminator. And so everybody has to be a media literate. We have made this modest beginning to make the people media literate. This beginning has been made with school students. I have been there in all 12 sessions, and I have noted the performance of resource persons and responses of students. It gives feeling of contentment, but this is a small step. We need to take many more steps for this time. I hope DME and Adamas University will continue to work jointly for creativity and media literacy movement in the country. Lavanya rightly said, youth of today's are leader of tomorrow. So thanks, Lavanya, and everybody present here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would request Mr. Aman Sahani, Vice Chairman, Delhi Metropolitan, to please address the gathering.
Hello, good morning. I think for a change, this has been a very good exercise from the academia, because generally academia is criticized for being reactive rather than proactive, and of being rather stagnant and changing the syllabus of any particular course every 5-10 years, and changing our national education policies every 25-30 years without clear guidelines. But the good thing is that we've identified problems that exist right now and gone beyond the regular staple academic diet to include solutions, to offer solutions as best we can to students. And at a very timely stage as well. This was a course that was offered to class 11 and 12 students. And I was just thinking that I'm sure that for most of you till now, the kind of discussion, this kind of opinions that were sought from you regarding news or anything to do with news were probably to do with sports and movies. How was this movie and who won yesterday? And beyond all of this, when it comes to a lot of the real news, as they say, a lot of the political news, international news, those were probably so far outside of the sort of discussions that you've probably had to have with people around you. But that's going to change very quickly now that you are all moving into adulthood very shortly. And you will all realize that all of a sudden, some of you would perhaps enter into student politics and all of a sudden get very involved with the real issues that exist in your community. And for the rest of you as well, you will be sort of asked, I'm sure in the past, you've seen uncles and aunties talking about politics and all of these issues, and you've sort of avoided those discussions, but you will be part of those discussions and your opinion will become relevant very shortly. And so for you, I think this is a very good time for you to appreciate how to go about this process of accessing news, of creating your own point of view, of how to view news, of how to learn from it, how to discuss it, what to forward, like was mentioned earlier, what not to forward, what to contradict, how to contradict, why to contradict. And also, obviously, very importantly, how to stay protected from a lot of the negative aspects that surround media, and in particular social media these days. So I think this was a very timely step for you to sort of help you form your opinion on how to go about accessing news. And my advice just would remain that just access many different kinds of news from many different places. It's not only a good diversion from what is going on every day, it is also something that can help you in social situations a lot. If you're informed, if you have concrete opinions based on proper knowledge, it'll help you when you're talking to people, when you interact with people. A lot of the times, those are the things that help you get ahead in life. So it's also okay if you are knowledgeable and you choose not to flaunt that knowledge. You don't need to engage in debates all the time. You may be of the school of thought that what is happening in the world does not necessarily concern you that much, and you can go about your own business with your own targets, focused on your own life, and that's all very well. But at the same time, I think it pays a lot of dividends to be generally well informed about everything. Just be aware as a citizen so that you can also defend yourself, fight for your rights, and do the right thing in the right situation. So all of this obviously becomes a lot more important because as of today, you're not just a consumer of news and information, but you're also a broadcaster of it. And earlier, this used to be obviously just face to face, but now online, I'm sure there's a lot of tweeting and reposting and forwarding. So you're also a broadcaster. So broadcast wisely, and you will, I'm sure, over time, form your own biases and your own opinions and your own schools of thought. It's all very well. Different people view the same news from different angles, from different point of views, from different lenses, so to speak. So for the same news, they could be a right-wing lens, a feminist lens, that sort of makes that news appear in a certain way. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're able to justify why you're thinking the way you're thinking. And like I said, if you're able to get news from a diverse point of view, from not just one source, from several different sources, then you're able to hopefully formulate balanced opinions. And over time, I'm sure that will help you. So that's all for today.
Thank you, Aman sir. It gives me immense pleasure to announce that this is a befitting conclusion to the intense media literacy course. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the management of Delhi Metropolitan Education for their valuable contribution, guidance, and encouragement in all efforts. I would like to thank the conveners of the course, Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary and Dr. Amrish Saxena, for their guidance, for the formulation of the ideation of this course and being omnipresent throughout the duration of this course. It has been a pleasure coordinating with Dr. Asha, who has always been available whenever required, and the insights that she has shared during the session. Mr. Ritik Ghosh, who has provided us with digital assistance and for the seamless web hosting of all the sessions. I would like to thank Ms. Alka Avasti, Ms. Sunita Dhaya, and Ms. Jyoti Arora for encouraging students' participation for the course. I would like to extend my thanks to Dr. Susmita Bala for her valuable contribution and continued support. Mr. Anmol Mehta for providing us the creative for the event timely. The course has been very insightful, enriching, and personally fulfilling for me, as I have learned a lot from the resource person from Adamas University, Kolkata, and Delhi Metropolitan Education, Noida. I would also like to thank students who have enriched the deliberations with their questions. Last but not the least, I would like to thank my colleagues who have helped us organizing this event in various capacities. On that note, I would like to conclude the valedictory function for this intense media literacy course. Thank you. Before leaving, let us have a look at the DME campus life.
At Delhi Metropolitan Education DME, we have an excellent infrastructure. We have a studio for production which is known as Studio 62. It was inaugurated by Tigmanshu Dhulia, who is a noted filmmaker. And within the studio, we have so many facilities. We have a chroma setup, we have a news setup, we have a chat room setup. And since floor is splendid, we can shoot any kind of program. We also have a separate radio studio.
And we have also organized Mega Film Festival SIFI and International Conference ICANN and received lots of films and received lots of paper in that conference.
For a college, the software is very important. In my college, the software comprises of three things. First is the teaching, second is the research, and third is the mentoring. With the help of these three softwares, we train a student in such a manner that placement is just a byproduct.
One of the essential features of law school at DME is its well-equipped moot court. Since its inception, DME has organized several moot court competitions and workshops just to enhance the mooting skills, which have been conducted under the distinguished guidance of various luminaries from bench, bar and academics.
Judicial Training Academy is the most shining feature of Delhi Metropolitan Education Noida. We have a huge library to help out our students with more than 15,000 books, including Helsbury's Laws of England.
DME has a very robust library infrastructure that not only caters to the curriculum needs of the students and the teachers, but also provides a great academic ambience. The library is equipped with latest books, journals and other e-resources.
At DME, we not only believe in academic excellence, but we also provide platform to students to showcase their talent through big open amphitheatre, beautiful auditorium, multi-purpose seminar hall, equipped with world-class facilities. Recently, we have conducted Cultural Fest Aloha in January 2020 and Anugunj, that is the Universal IP Fest, in February 2020.